everyone. So this company is called Painting by Numbers Factory. I will put that name right here. I am not affiliated with them. I bought this out of my own pocket, but I did it because someone brought the company to my attention, and I took a look and did a little bit of research and placed an order with PayPal so that if there were any issues, I could get my money back. I ordered this on September 11th and it arrived September 30th. So less than 3 weeks. So even though I can tell you they're legit, that doesn't mean they're high quality, or that I would recommend them. So we're gonna get through this video and see what the opinion is at the end. One of these you may recognize. I actually bought the same painting last year from Paint Plot, but I had done a very, very thin, watered down white gesso over it because the lines and numbers were dark. Well, that is why I do not recommend that you ever do that if you can avoid it. Because not only did I have no reference guide, the photos that I took were after I put on the white gesso, and so I can't read about half of what I need to see. It's so blurry that I'm like, well, let me look at the photo. So even looking at the photo, I can't really determine. So long story long, you know how I do. Now let's talk about, first of all, how packages arrive from overseas. I don't know if a lot of people know it, but shipping from overseas in a tube, just the United States price is about $14. So, and that is for 18 ounces. So if you bought lots of paintings and you had them shipped here from overseas in a tube, not only are you gonna pay more than $14, but they also have to put the price of the shipping from their country as well. So that's why you won't see a lot of tubes shipped from overseas. Now, maybe some companies should give you an option to pay more for, putting it in a tube and whatever. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't even pay it. They might get upset when it comes bent, but they don't want to pay that extra. I don't want to pay that extra. I'd rather just pray for something that comes in that I can work with, and if that doesn't happen, then I'm gonna just suck up the responsibility. Because the package systems right now are so horrible. They're just throwing stuff around, smashing it. I mean, mishandling it all over the place because they're in such a rush because of the pandemic and being so far behind that they're not handling things safely. So I'm trying my best not to get mad at certain companies for that. As long as they send it to me rolled and they've tried to protect it, I get it. Anyway, sorry, spiel. All right, so you can see this one is already crinkled and crumpled because of the way it was handled in shipping. Now, this is silica gel. You throw it away, do not eat it. I know you might need a snack while you're painting, but this isn't it, okay? So, yummy delicious palette, but I'm gonna open it up in a minute. Let's look at the canvas first. I say save the best for last, which is yummy delicious palette. Okay, so this is why I use white gesso. That one time, I never did it again. But you see how black these lines and numbers are. So I'm gonna have to come up with a better solution this time. But I'm willing to give it a shot because I love this painting. Oh, by the way, this is it. I was just keeping y'all in suspense. Sorry about that. All right. I'm gonna hold these edges down on my canvas over here with some little flower pot water dishes. Okay, so let's take a look at our palette. We got another set of brushes. You guys, I have to tell you a funny story, okay? Story time with Melanie, surprise. All right, so you see these brushes. Well, one night, my oldest daughter, Ashlyn, who is 29, she has been coming over and helping me redesign my art studio. So we took every single thing out of my studio. Well, let me tell you guys, I probably have $50,000 worth of supplies. So all of that got taken out. The stuff that hadn't already been moved when we thought we were gonna have to move out. But she's been going through it and organizing it for me, so when I put it back, it will be organized. Makes sense, right? Okay, so she found this acrylic container that held a bunch of my markers and stuff. So she, in the middle of the night, I guess, night owl that she is, she went and she took apart all of these little paintbrush kits and organized them by large, medium, and small. And there's tons of paintbrushes in this clear container, and I will show you what it looks like. My husband comes in and he sees all of those paintbrushes. He's like, wow, did you order some paintbrushes? I said, no. Those are the ones that come with my paint by number kits. I said, but Ashlyn, there's in a set of 3, and Ashlyn took them all apart and separated them. So now there's like a bazillion of them. And he was like, oh, but I don't know that he really believed me. So you have to see this thing. It's full. I mean, like, it's so full of these paintbrushes. Now, I think some of them are actually improving a little bit over time. So, you know, I'm glad I didn't throw them out. But, I mean, yeah, if I ever teach a class, if my grandkids ever paint with me, that's perfect to have on hand. So that's why I'm keeping them. All right, we're gonna swatch these paints. Enough chit-chatting. I've got my swatch guide. So I have my handy dandy water, little flower pots full of water. Moving this out of the way so my pots do not slide down my tilted desk. Okay, they're not dried out, which is good. They're thick and they're super creamy, but what that means right now is this thickness right here would be too thick to paint with. But we see that a lot. It's not like they're dried out or anything. Here's our finished swatch guide for this particular painting. I'm going to do a comparison video between this painting and its paints and the paint plot one I had already purchased last year and its paints. And then what I'm going to do is whichever one has the paint for that particular color or number, that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to take both palettes, put them together, and then figure out which ones I want to use for those numbers on that canvas. Hope that makes sense. I'm going to come back and do that another day. Let's move on to our second painting for this. So I'm opening up this particular canvas, and you can see it's probably from a different manufacturer because the lines are lighter, the numbers are black, and they're pretty bold, but they're not like bold like the last one. I will put the image right here. And I didn't really mention the canvas much on the last one. It's the same texture as this one. It's just got that real like kind of a linen texture. The ones that are thinner, you guys, they do wrinkle easier, but they also stretch really easy too. They don't take as much like exertion, and they'll stretch really nicely. So enough about the canvas. Let's talk about the paints. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I don't like stuff sliding down my desk. So for those of you who love a very natural, muted, beautiful palette, this is it. Very nice colors, just, oh my goodness, just so like relaxing and calming. So I'm gonna go ahead and start swatching these, and I will show you what they look like once they're done. So let's talk about this palette. You will notice that it is more on the cool range of colors. So I got much better coverage out of most of these paints than I did with the other kit that came in this package. So although these here and that one were somewhere between transparent and semi-opaque, a lot of these gave really good coverage. Not outstanding coverage. Some of it's kind of drying a little bit streaky, but I feel like the palette is going to have a lot to do with whether the paint and the painting comes out as you expect. So that is it for today, you guys. Like I said earlier in the video, this is a legit company. They did ship rather quickly, and all that was good, but the paint quality is kind of on the fence about it. It's not bad, it's just not the best I've seen. So I hope this was helpful for you all, and I will, see you back soon. I have a whole bunch of packages, Happy Mail, that came in today that I need to talk about. So I am going to keep bringing you videos. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to join me on Patreon and to subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon.